Yes, we did, SkyJ! And hello! Hope you're doing well. More pressingly, bullets ricochet into
Yet another overclocking thing to add to my ever-growing overkilling arsenal!
So, free Toho mode? Well enough to prevent protest. Fair. At least on my end, I'm coming off of a mental dead week.
Now this looks badass.
This entire week, I've just been in a crap mood. I'm still at least a little bit in a crap mood.
I'm forging my own fashion, and I don't have to pay any microtransactions! This is the dream!
Like, in terms of work, the bright side of it is I have a smaller caseload now. But everything else has just been shit. I'm at least a little bit in pain because, well, I already mentioned the hip development.
There you go, getting closer to being able to afford that upgrade!
In tandem with that, sister still isn't really willing to talk. And now mother is giving me silent treatment as well, all because I accidentally snapped at her without meaning to, and I had told her already that I was in a crap mood today. But of course, COVID long hauler means perception of the world has drastically changed, and I accept that. But it's not the root cause. Because I can also make the case that she's been like this for years. But what do I know? I'm just a bystander. But yeah, on top of all that, there's the capstone of me trying to find a master's program, which itself is its own pain in the ass. Even just researching programs. Hell, that's the reason why the last few weeks on Friday streams I've been interrupted. Specifically because Friday is pretty much the only free day I have. And even then, I've still had to schedule some of these interviews and whatnot during my work week. Just to put this into perspective.
Knock, knock! Room service!
You've detected an area filled with the quarks, and you get to bring them all back. Search for a blue shimmering light and extract the quark from within the walls. We've sent in a specialized heavy lifter, and we're expecting heavy resistance so the lifter's been equipped with heavy armaments. But keep focused. It's about the goods.
I want to be a therapist. It's my skill set isn't within drug recovery, it's mental health. But the process to hit licensure is a pain in the ass. It's incredibly lengthy, full of drudgery. Like, it's 700 hours of volunteer work for the program itself, for the master's program itself. And in tandem with that, I still need to work for another 600 hours, for like another 600 to 1,000 hours afterward. Running all the calculations and all the data and everything, it's going to be 6 years. Assuming that I have to work full-time and commit to classes. And that's assuming I do well. Which, I'm never confident in that.
I'll catch.
But I also know that my current income isn't
What?
livable.
Afraid to fight us now that your warden is gone? Well, stiff!
Like, put simply, I barely scrape 40,000 a year, and even then. At least in the area in which I live, that's only barely scraping the standard of living. It's not 6 years for the master's program. Like, the master's is itself 2 years. But that's assuming you're doing it full time. I'd be doing it part time, which almost doubles the length. And then on top of that, even after I've completed the master's program, to qualify for the licensure exam, I need to work an additional 2 years past that in my field. Assuming things go on average, it's 6 years. If somehow I can find a few clever ways to accelerate things, maybe 5.5. Because again, the bottleneck is the extra internships and similar.
And depositing minerals.
That's with every MS program. I've looked at 3 or 4 of them in my particular state, and all of them are the same way. Because the state mandate is they need to offer a specific set of courses.
Nothing like the sounds of the acquisition of material wealth.
They need to offer a specific set of courses for like a total of 40 credit hours. They need to offer a 100-hour thinger. I don't remember what the precise name of it was.
Payday.
And there also needs to be a mandatory 600 hours of additional internship that qualifies for practicing mental health. Or otherwise, counseling services.
You're always there when I need you, Bosco.
All of those are non-negotiable. And I hate that.
Keep your
It
head in this
feels like I'm trapped in amber. And I hate it. at this point, I'm just in the pissing and moaning stage. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. Because otherwise, I can't survive.
If that's your idea of being oppressive, Glyphid, that's just downright depressing!
And I mean, like, I could move out of the state, find work elsewhere, but the same requisites are going to follow me wherever I go. Sure, maybe I can earn a little more money in one of the neighboring states, but I would still need to commit to most of the same requisites, if not all of the same requisites, in that same state.
Spring Bunny, stop!
It's just stifling. Fuck, now I'm feeling depressed. Best bet, utilize cheap living. Here's the problem with that.
We're a bit over budget for this mission. Take away the mule. Oh, yeah, you're right. Two down, come on! You can do this! Right away. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it went down.
Like, that's the problem. That's the problem. That effectively mean... Because... That effectively means I'm still living out of my parents' house, and... If it's a toxic family household, that just makes a bad situation worse. Like, again, bad family relationship at this point with my sister. On top of that, mother is effectively dementia-riddled, which by itself is a trial. Because, you know, COVID long hauler, it does that to a person. Not to mention, the same parent also is very much a complainer. Reeks of completely dissatisfied with their life, completely dissatisfied with the world, and practically taking it out on the people around them. And especially so for not just me, but also my dad. The precise type of person that will claim everything is wrong with the world and nothing is wrong with themselves. And my sister's the same way. And simultaneously to that, I'm also toxic. Because I recognize I have my outbursts. I have my moments where I just can't take it anymore. I get it. Some of it may be some form of depression. I don't know.
Well done, team. Performance point
But
bonus
at the
is
same
active.
rate, I also have my own opinions on it
It's a
all.
big one, team.
Part of it is some dissociation. Part of it is... anxiety disorder. Part of it is just pure frustration. And it's especially difficult managing it all if you're next to a person who's constantly complaining about the world, and at least partially about you. in a backwards way.
For the pack! Yeah! No wardens around to protect you now, Bugs! Come and get it!
And then goes off on the perception that you're always angry. And I'm not. I'm just frustrated. And there is a difference between the two. Frustration is helplessness. Frustration is dissatisfaction with helplessness. Anger is a form of frustration, but it's not frustration itself. And you try defining that to a person who always sees in black and white.
I knew I could count on you, Bosco!
I've tried multiple times, and it's impossible.
Feeling much better now.
So it's either I live with two people in the household being angry at me because I'm not allowed to speak, and how dare I speak effectively?
Yeah!
Rather, how dare I speak in such a way that I'm not portrayed as being angry all the time. Or otherwise, I act all kind and happy-go-lucky toward the same two people who are also making me feel bitter. Who are also depressing me in the first place.
Catch me if you can!
And this is something I've been dealing with for years in the background. I try to hide it the best I can, but
Yeah, there's the
I can only hide it so much. I just don't know if I can handle all the stress. But I have to handle all the stress. And I know that the process of handling it all is breaking me. But I don't have the choice. But I don't have a choice. It's either I stay at home, live with all the stress and the stressors, or I try to find a cheap apartment somewhere. Stream quality probably drops, and I have to deal with a whole new set of stressors. Constantly having to buy groceries, drive around, live by myself. And I'm the type of person where if I'm by myself, I'm gonna go stir crazy.
This is our lives. We live it and we love it.
I wouldn't be surprised actually if in the process of finding a place to live by myself, I picked up streaming for more days just
Feeling much better
because
now.
what else? What else can I do? I started this channel with the specific purpose of being able to talk with people. And it's been successful in that respect. And at least with my current work schedule and everything, I don't really have many people to talk with. So this is how I open the opportunity for that. Learn how to talk with people, learn how to rehabilitate myself. And again, I'm not going to say that any or all of my perceptions of how I see my current world are set in stone, let alone correct. That isn't the fact of the matter. This is how I've been perceiving it, and it's not a healthy environment. But I have no choice but to stick with it, because, again, it's either deal with a toxic environment or fail at living on my own. Thanks, game. Crap! Nope! You can always talk to me.
Bosco, you're my hero! You're out!
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ox. Like, genuinely, that's a miserable situation to be in, too. It's hard dealing with a person who just refuses to take fault for anything. Especially when the thing in question is their direct doing, or indirect doing, even.
Resupply order.
That was a
Supply pod
terrible
launched. Better
piece.
stand back.
God. What am I doing? And again, with all of this, I could be overreacting. I don't honestly know. And at least part of that is just my own mental stability. Mental instability. Because I know for certain there is some dissociation in my head. I know for certain that there's some anxiety issues. General distrust for humanity on the whole.
Ha! The warden ain't here to watch over you now, Bugs!
Oh no, Skyjay, the money isn't the issue. It's the time.
You're out!
Because I at least had... At least in terms of school and whatnot, I got drilled into my head to the point of it actually mentally damaging me that I needed to do well in school.
Oh yeah!
And I do mean it mentally damaged me. Graduated with the psychology bachelor's with like a 3.4 GPA, 3.5 GPA. And even after that, I've been saving my money. I haven't been spending it all too much of it. Pretty much just chipping in with the house bills and
I don't think I'll ever get bored of exploring
occasionally footing the bill for food every so often. Like, to my name, I think I have maybe like 30 to 40,000 left in the bank, and that would be enough for 1 year, for like all of the master's program. Because it's usually like 30 to 40,000. The money isn't the issue. It's the 6 years. And I honestly am not sure if I can tolerate it. Okay, where is the place I need to go? Like, the part-time option would be 2 classes per semester and like 3 semesters in a year. Each year. Each year. The full-time is 4 classes. And mind you, these are master's program classes, so they're going to be more complicated.
Downtown!
Incoming! Smoke him if you got him.
Or at least that's my perception on it. More complicated, more focused. The bright side to it is that, for the most part, the online programs that I've been looking at are asynchronous. Meaning that I can take it slow and be fine, but the taking it slow is the hard part. Because at the end of it, I still need to do the 40 credits worth of classes, and that's like...
Okay, now, Bugs! Warden's down, Bugs! What you gonna do now?
Oh, you've got to be kidding. Come on, freeze, please. I've spent way too much time dicking around.
I feel fresh on the edge. Now things are getting fun. Yeah.
Stun stick. Load. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay optimistic and it'll be different one day. Yeah, unfortunately. That's kind of how we have to manage these types of situations. Through willpower. And again, the simple fact that I've been managing all this for so long is actually one of the reasons why I thought about Mindless the way I did, and Blake's stats, so to speak. Like, the long and short of it is, IOTA, depending on their tenets, have certain things that they're good and bad at least for Blake's case, they can handle a lot of mental stress. That's it.
Never felt better.
Everything else is pretty much average, with the exception of Fortune. They're able to make things work, and are clever enough to make things work, and I'm at least partially the same way. Even then, just because you can make it work doesn't mean that it's a great situation. What you're dealing with is effectively shit on a stick, there's no way to make that any nicer than that. It's still gonna be shit on a stick.
Taste my might! Yeah!
I can foot you a couple of the details in DM's schedule, just probably a little after stream, and after I have a shower. And take my medication. And probably eat. All of this for one fucking gem. Really?
Yep.
Actually,
as
how are
scary
we
as
at 6
Hopkins can be.
gems?
I'm just glad there's no bears here.
Frick! I haven't even... For whatever reason, it hadn't even registered that I'd collected 6 a quark. I thought I was only on my first.
You picked on the wrong cobalt! Bye-bye!
Whoop. Okay, give me
Ammo
supplies.
taken.
This is still the worst place for this to
Get
be.
them out there.
But of course I panicked.
Easily the best job ever!
The swarm is upon you.
Okay, where? Down that way?
That had to hurt!
Crap. Nope.
You're always there when I need you, boss.
Oh shit, that's my last revive.
Just what I needed.
Damn it. Alright. Kind of a downer note to end stream on, but honestly, I think I've hit depression, a little bit of depression, and I've got a bit of a headache. Oh, good idea. To everyone who's dropped by, thank you so much. And I understand I say this a lot, I understand many streamers say it a lot, but I really do genuinely... thanks. I really do support... I really do... How do I phrase this? My memory is just gone. I really do appreciate all the support I get with these streams. Black. Thanks. Thanks, Ox. You can usually tune in Fridays and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon, for either random games on the Fridays, or otherwise dedicated RPG game clearing on the Saturdays. I'm anticipating this Saturday being the last Rune Factory. Because I've done a bunch of training. I've done a bunch of prep work. We should be good. If you miss any streams, don't worry. They stay up on Twitch for a couple weeks. We then chunk them down, port them over to a YouTube channel, Sage Blake. At that, if you ever want a link to either that or the Discord, !YouTube or !Discord gets you a free link to that. On the Discord, we chat about a bunch of things. I draw things, put them on there, and also just talk games.
I needed that.
I need to do more community events at places. I just don't know what to do, honestly. I am considering, like, doing a drawing thing at one point, because I do have a small half title card that I purposely set aside for it.
I want to be drunk on knowledge. Smart staff, please.
Drunk on knowledge? That's a phrase. At that, I'm a part of several other Discords too, such as Ox and Associates, the Ravenhaven Theater for Taonos, etc., etc.
Did you know that there is a large multitude of romantic relationships within human culture? I know, nuts, isn't it? Now, that's got me thinking. Bear with me. Say, hypothetically, a human was to somehow swoon the goddess Tiamat. Now, because of the 5 heads, would that human consider the relationship a polyamorous one? Of course, us bulbs know the answer to that, without a doubt. But the humans? No way. They'd be debating this endlessly with each other. They're so indecisive. I bet they'd even short circuit. Humans have those these days, right? Circuits in their head? From the... Wait, what were we talking about?
What? Let's see here. Otherwise... Actually, give me a... Can I get a leaf lovers?
Pointy-eared leaf lover, flat snout lover, it doesn't matter. Just give me the frickin' drink.
That's cute. Would Tiamat be a poly? I would say yes.
Yes!
Specifically because if there are multiple heads, then there would have to be multiple personalities. Or if they're not multiple personalities...
Hit the drinks for some knowledge. Smart stout, please, Lloyd.
If there aren't multiple personalities, then it wouldn't be. But if there are, and multiple being defined as 2 or more, then it would be. Yeah, as a deity, it's polytheism, you're right.
Did you know that when a loot bug devours a gold or nitra nugget, the contents within them is multiplied by times 1.5? Meaning that you can potentially yield even more value out of killing a loot bug if you let them eat something first. This presents the opportunity and plausibility of creating an underground loot bug farm. If we were to do that and play our cards just right, we'd be raking in more gold and nitra than we would when spelunking. But that is just pure cruel exploitation of cute wildlife! This information must never be repeated! Someone give me some blackout stab! This must be erased from my mind!
Oh, that's cute! Do it. You won't. Let's see here. As a final item, I draw and write in my spare time. Some of it goes on. Rudy! Your timing is bad. We were just about to raid out. Thanks. Don't worry, if you want to play some Deep Rock, I'll be on later. But otherwise, I'm trying to find a person to raid. Let's go a little bit off kilter. This is Furaya. They are a mute streamer. In other words, they don't use their voice. Play a bunch of games. Sometimes it's VR, other times it's not. As for a raid message, let's go with... As a play on Deep Rock, and because they're also playing Super Mario World, so Yoshi. Egg and Tama! Feel free to decorate it with whatever emotes you want. I usually keep the rental costs fairly low. Think of it as an extra reward for all the support, and also to give Twitch the middle finger it deserves. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay warm, and get yourself some chocolate. You deserve it. Dalagan. Dalakitna.